Good morning. Oh, sorry. Morning. I forgot to press unmute on the Discord. Hope you guys are well. Aaron, how you doing, Aaron? Haven't seen you in a while. Hope you're good. James, as always, hope you guys are well. On what day is it? Wednesday today. I always get lost track of time. It's Tuesday today. Happy Tuesday. Hope everybody's going well. Amira, good to see you back as well. Let's get into the markets, shall we? Also, you might see some changes. Well, actually, this is September in terms of my office. I know I've just done the office, but for the past few months, I've been thinking about, and this is just a personal thing, I just want you guys to know. I was thinking about renting the house out just because the property market is just a little bit crazy right now, and the kind of rental I can get for this house is so. Basically, where I live... Oh, you had COVID. Oh, sorry. Hope you're okay now, Amira. Basically, are you okay now? I presume you're okay since you're back. Good. Excellent. So where I live, it's called Sustainable City, and James has been here. He'll know. And it's a very kind of sought-after community, right? There's not a lot of places that are for sale. There's not a lot of places that are for rent. Morning, Leon. So... I was kind of, talking to Megan and thinking about what I should do here because, this is a big house, right? I'm going to be real with you guys. It's $1 million house, right? It's a big house. It's probably too big for me, Megan and the dog, right? It's great for if you have little kids, but I don't use this house a lot, right? So I'm just kind of thinking that, for the next year, why don't I go and stay on the Palm and rent an apartment, going to the apartment for a year or two and rent the house out and use it as an income stream and use it as an asset rather than a liability. So again, it's nothing down to that I have to do it. It's just that I think it's the best, financial business decision with the renting where it is. So I signed the contract yesterday, and the renters will be coming in end of September, so you'll probably see I might be taking a week to kind of move into the new apartment, but yeah, that is what I'll be doing. That's what I've decided to do. I actually, when I initially bought it, I thought it was going to be an investment property, and then I liked it, but I think now, the smart business decision is to rent this out, so that's what I'll be doing. And again, it's becoming an income stream, which is great, and an asset that which is what we're trying to do here, right? What we're trying to do here. So that's what's going to be happening end of September. You may see me in a different office, but that is the reason why. Morning, Silver. Okay, guys. So let's get into the market. On EURUSD now. Let's talk about EURUSD. We had a little push yesterday in this trade here. If I bring up the 4-hour. So we had a push in this trade. We did not break these highs, which is what I was kind of looking for. We're creating lower lows. We possibly could be creating a lower low here and continuing within that squeeze into this area. So, remember, from an aggressive point of view, this is on a daily chart. From a daily perspective, this still looks great. Inside bar yesterday, it's accumulating underneath the level. It could be another daily breakout, but I would prefer to have it on this 4-hour. So I think how with how price action is looking, I don't think I'm going to get an aggressive. I was talking yesterday with this price action, but I'm looking for this to come down. If we can do something like this, continuing with that squeeze, maybe I can look for an aggressive here if it does do this. But ultimately, that will be a better risk reward on a 4-hour break than on a daily. So this is still good. I'm still confident in this position. I still like the price action. It's actually looking better as the days goes on. There will be some volatility on Friday. We know that with NFP. But as I said, I'm perfectly happy being in EURUSD shorts. Right. SPX. So SPX is having a little bit of a push. Could we be getting that ABC? I don't think that's confirmed yet. Again, this daily has not closed. What do I think? Maybe we come back and retest this area. Maybe we have that ABC before continuation down. As I said, the trend is down. We're still in pullback mode. Look, we're still in pullback mode. We could, pullback could be complete here, as I did think a few days ago or last week. But maybe I was wrong in that, and it needs a little bit more. So, well, what do you guys think? What do you guys think for the SPX? Where's your heads at? For me, again, still in pullback. You know, we're looking for something possibly on this 4 hour for a reason to sell into it. And I think that has to be the play, right? Anybody else have any difference of opinion? Short-term upside, I kind of agree. I think with how, you know, when we got this, that kind of changed and shifted my momentum a little bit to, well, maybe we do get that complex before, you know, moving to the downside. Yeah, up in here. Yep. There you go. Up in there within that channel, trend line corrective, you know, looking to break through it. Maybe if it sustains, then I'll remove further short bias. I mean, where do we change our opinion, right? Do we change it? We probably change our opinion potentially on a break and close above that, right? But then this swing is not confirmed because we've not broken the low. So technically, this is the latest swing. So for me, a real change in trend would be a break above here. But yes, I agree. For shorter term, if we get some bullish price action and a close above here and a kind of close and possibly price acceptance, but then we had this here as well. You know, back here we had that close above, we had price acceptance, and then we had a fall down. So yeah, hard to predict. Let's just wait and see. Let's let the market tell us. Right now, it's still telling us we're in pullback mode. I'll let you type Ash before I go on, but certainly small time frames do look bullish. Certainly small time frames do look bullish. I just have a feeling up until Friday. Again, I don't trade what I think, I trade what I see, but I just have a feeling it'll push up until Friday, and then potentially we continue with that downtrend. But let's see. Dollar as well is just accumulating. You know, we are creating higher highs into this area. It still looks good for me, dollar upside. I'm a bit more confident in dollar up than SPX down right now. But yeah, that's just accumulating. Still looking for dollar longs, and I still do think at the moment that that level breaks in the dollar. Right, a little bit of a smaller watch list today, which is good. I prefer that. I don't like looking at 25 pairs on a stream. So USD ZAR on a breakout retest is still potentially setting up, although as the days go on, I like it less and less. You know, I don't like a kind of rounding effect, which is what we're getting here with these wicks to the upside, i.e. is this the bend at the end of the trend? There is the 20 still catch up to come. I just, at the moment, it ain't fitting my retest criteria. So I'm going to keep it on the watch list in case it does turn into a complex, but I don't think it's one that I'm going to get on USD ZAR long. Pound Aussie is another one. Pound Aussie is one for today, potentially. Looking at this V reversal. We're not in any kind of trending environment, but Pound Aussie short is technically going with the overall trend, albeit it's more of a range right now, and there is certainly a bias that if it breaks this level, in which case we don't get the setup, then it looks more long than it does short. So from a 30-minute, 1 hour perspective, I'm looking at a V reversal. Right? I'm looking at this coming back up, ultimately breaking and retesting of this area for movement to the downside. I don't have a massive bias on higher time frames, but you know what's getting me into that short is the fact that we are, you know, digesting potentially again from this move to the downside. But again, I get the bias that maybe this looks potentially on different eyes, you know, that it could break to the upside. So let's see what it does on Pound Aussie. But there is a V reversal there, and you know, there is again, we break underneath that level, we break from underneath that 4 hour 200. There's certainly an argument for Pound Aussie short. Euro USD I've done. USD Singapore dollar is another one that I like, right? I don't want this to break. From a daily perspective, we didn't close above. I'm just looking for this to accumulate here for a few more days, i.e. that 20 catch up before I take the break to the upside. If it does break, then I can look for a breakout retest. It looks on the 4 hour that it might do that, but again, if it does, it doesn't fit my plan. I can't do it. I'm looking at this from a daily perspective because the chart is a little bit cleaner than the 4 hour, particularly on this area, this touching area, which I don't believe on the 4 hour it has. Again, I know you might say, well, how come you're saying that on the 4 hour and not on the daily? It's just simply because of how I look at and how I draw my lines as a zone on the daily. And for me, it's tagged that zone on a daily perspective, but not a 4 hour perspective. Again, this is just my opinion. So it looks as if it's pushing. I wouldn't be surprised if it pushed. I look for a retest, but I'm looking for a little bit of accumulation there. USD CAD is one that I do like. USD CAD is one I do like. We are still within this channel corrective, it seems. Another one that if dollar decides to strengthen up on potentially SPX weakness on Friday, if that happens, we're talking Tuesday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. If we can get something down here as an aggressive entry, we are still understanding that. I know we've had a 20-period catch-up, but, sometimes with the 20, is it good to use as a guide, but it's not the holy grail. We have to look at price action and say, well, if it gets down here, this digestion is actually really good from a very good move to the upside. So looking for an aggressive there, obviously volume coming in to come up to this area. If it doesn't, then we look for a potential breakout. If it falls, then we take it off the list. But I do like the idea of USD CAD longs, and I kind of like that chart. The 225. 225 is still there as well. It's having a little push on, index is pushing. I'm still looking at this to come down to this area and tag it. It does look to be in a potential complex corrective before it comes down. Could be wrong on that. You could be looking at head and shoulders here on the 4-hour as well. I can't look at an aggressive until we tag this area. Doesn't fit my plan, but I obviously can look at it down here. So 225 still got a little bit to go. Pushes above probably this area. You're going to take it off and say it's not setting up. On a 4-hour perspective, but a daily perspective, you still can look at it. I just do prefer a kind of candle closures like we've got here at this area rather than these kind of wicks. So 225 still shorts on the card, but got a little bit to go. Same with the NASDAQ. NASDAQ, and obviously like most of the indexes, is having a little bit of a push right now. But again, this is a thing with the aggressive. I'm going to have to see how price action continues to set up here. I don't like this particular bar, right? And I don't like this particular price action for an aggressive entry. I think a safer option here is just to let the market kind of come down if it wants to come down and potentially give us a setup on this V reversal accumulation for continued shorts. The daily is in a nice position. The confluence is there with the higher kind of time frame trend. Obviously, the fall in these indexes, but I think with that little push, it's making this corrective look a little bit messy to me, and probably not something I want to be involved in for an aggressive. But I will still look at it for a breakout to the downside. And finally, GJ. GJ is something I'm looking at long. Smaller pattern here. We did get a tag on this trend line. We are creating our higher highs into this zone up here, i.e. our Dow theory uptrend, tagging on. Although I don't massively like trend lines, you know that, but it is tagging on this trend line to move to the upside, and a rejection there as well. For our perspective, we've got a V reversal here. Could potentially look at this as our larger AB shallow C, right? But I'm looking primarily at this area. So although it's a smaller context, it's still valid, right? So we've got our V reversal up here, needs a little bit of retracement back for a potential aggressive up in here and a potential breakout to the upside on GJ. If we look at the weekly, which I haven't looked at the weekly today. So weekly, I mean, again, with a lot of these things, the weekly is not very nice. Some of these charts just aren't very nice, but there's certainly structure there that you can allow for your higher time frame confidence to get into this trade. And we know the yen's been weak. Maybe that continues. We'll see on Friday what really happens, but I would need a retracement back in here that potentially could come around that 200, which as a kind of period of dynamic support to price, which would be nice. And it's something I would certainly consider. On GJ longs. And that's it actually today. 15-minute stream. Anything you guys want me to look at? So as I said, EU, I'm in. I'm pretty happy with that position. We know what the euro's like. It might go and push on, but from a daily perspective, I can't say anything other than I continue to like this setup. As the days go on, I like it more and more. We've got an inside bar, which is a bearish sign. We've got our overall trend. We're in this from a daily chart. And yeah, I like it short. I have to say. And pound Aussie would be one that I would look at if it decides to break to the downside. That was easier than yesterday. Aussie dollar 4-hour breakout retest. Aussie dollar. Yeah, I've taken these off the list, right? Because I don't like the push up into it. That's my only worry. Of let's say the dollar decides to accumulate and the market has a little bit of pullback into Friday, right? You could see this pushing up, right? And this is this trajectory of the breakout retest. I don't particularly like. That's not saying it can't come down. The dollar could gain some strength today. It does look long. I do agree with Aussie dollar short fundamentally and technically going with the charts. I just, for my particular retest, I just don't like that. Don't like that. And I presume that's what you're looking at, right? You're looking at volume coming in on this 4-hour as an outside bullish engulfer. And I can see your context. You know, I can see your context there. Context is pretty good. But I just don't like that retest. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if we look at smaller time frames, I agree with the higher. I agree with the bias, silver. I agree with the bias. Aussie dollar short. You know, and it doesn't actually look bad on these smaller time frames, right? You're getting this push that is now, you know, kind of looking like it's losing momentum, and price action here, not bad for the bears. Not bad for the bears. So, yeah, like I said, I agree with the bias. I just couldn't take that because it doesn't fit my retest criteria, but I would understand the bias. Understand the bias. Oh, yeah, you were long. You were right. You were right, John, on long USD yen. I'm not sure what R you're up, but hey, the trend wins on that, and you were right. Well, you were right yesterday. Let's see how it goes. But if you've got more than 1-to-1, it doesn't really matter, right? Because you're fitting your criteria, and yeah, making your percentages because of it. 86 pips. What was your stop? Was it more? Was it less than 86 pips? Did you have like a 30-40 pip stop or something? John? I'm just trying to figure out over 100. Okay, so you wanted to basically come up to these highs to maybe what, get you 1-to-1. I'm presuming. Daily swing. Yeah, okay, fair enough. Yeah, I mean, let's see. It'll be interesting to see what it does with this. What UJ does after Friday. I don't like where the daily is, but hey, you're in profit, so that's all that matters. Aussie CAD short, yeah, Aussie CAD short looks good. I actually thought, as I said to you, I thought this may have come up, but it didn't, you know. So it retested this area and it's kind of come down. You're potentially getting your new swing there. So Aussie CAD, yeah, looks good. You know, that's something. If it comes down, I don't know what your trade management style is, but for me, if it does push down, I'd obviously, well, let's say I would use that as another anchor, or if it moves down, a swing to your stop and just let it run. Aussie CAD to the downside again. Yeah, although it is a little bit extended there, that's why I would kind of lock in some profits to see how far it would go. But again, that's just my personal trade management. But nice, I mean, this is a nice, it is, I mean, hindsight's a great thing, right? Hindsight's a brilliant thing. But I did like this. I did say I did like that. My only worry about Aussie CAD was that daily. But I always keep the door open, so I can't always be wrong and say, well, it could retest and come down. And that's what it did. That's what it did. Aussie CAD short. Yeah, okay, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. You use moving averages as your management. Okay. So a moving average cross. Is that what you use? If you're placing that on the daily, so you close above the MA and you're out. Yeah, okay, fair enough. And what time frame are you on this for? This is a daily trade as well. Daily, okay, good. Okay, yeah. Well, you could get a little bit of pullback here on the daily. You could before it goes down. In which case, you'd probably still be in. Yeah, well done. Well done. Good. Anything else, guys? Anything else you want me to look at before I head off? No? No questions? No queries? 86 pip stop loss. You entered up here, right? You entered on the retest. Did you enter somewhere here? $8,824. Oh, so you're in, okay. Somewhere down here with an 86. So I presume you're 86 pip stop. Somewhere up here. Okay, so you're looking for this to fall now. Okay, yeah. Well, I mean, it looks like potential pullback complete and then continue with that trend. So, but again, my only worry is that daily, but I could be completely wrong. Could be completely wrong. All right, guys. If there's nothing else, I'll leave you. Remember, you still got 2 days if you want to submit your application for the 50K FTMO. I won't do one next month because I'm going on holiday. I'm not actually going anywhere. I'm just taking 2 weeks just to chill and do nothing. So if you want to be entered in, remember, if you've entered before, you can enter again. I just need another official submission. If you've won before, you can win again. As I said, when Simplicity launches, I do think this is the best time to kind of come in and win it. And if you think you're ready to do it again, apply. And I'll give the $200 away on Friday as well. Okay. Have a great day, all. And I'll see you all tomorrow. Peace.